Hi, Fatima.
Hello, hi,
Good evening. Thank you so much for doing this.
good
Thank you so
evening.
much. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. I really don't have much followers right here on Instagram. I would have preferred this on Facebook, but then I couldn't get the modalities around it, done. So I decided to do it here. All
Okay.
the same, I mean, all for the best. It's all for the best. So I would love you to. Okay, I'm Dr. Kelechi, as you already know, medical practitioner, right there. So I would love you to introduce yourself to viewers, right before we proceed. If you don't.
So, my name is Fatima Abba-Gana. I'm a journalist by profession, and right now I'm in treatment for COVID-19.
Okay, so much. So since February, I think when we got well, from the time we got, even before we got the index case in Nigeria, I've been on about trying to sensitize people here in Nigeria on this issue, so we can take the right step in protecting ourselves and trying to limit the spread of the virus. But then it seems as though, it's not being effective enough as a lot of people, think that it's a scam. A whole lot of Nigerians, more than 50% of Nigerians think it's a scam. So yeah, do you know why they have that thought? Like, because I've been trying to, figure it out. And I know some say the government is not being transparent enough. Some say NCDC is not being transparent enough. That they're supposed to show them pictures. They're supposed to show them videos. What's your take on that?
Um, I think it's understandable why the government, or rather why people think it's a scam. Even in the isolation center, I've had people tell me that, Kai, the government are doing business with us. Oh. How can they keep me here for 20 days? How can they keep me here for 30 days? Some people feel, most people here don't have any symptoms, or rather, at least a good number of people don't have any symptoms. So those people are the ones that are skeptical and they feel there's more to do. If I'm not sick, I feel okay. I want to go home. I've been taking your medication for so long. Why am I still here? You know? So such things are what give people these ideas that this might be a scam. And another thing, I don't think people are well informed that the pictures that the media put out there are people on hospital beds in, or rather on what's it called? On was on this ventilator machine dying. Those are the images of COVID-19. So as long as you're not in that critical condition, people think, no, it's fake. But the truth is, most of us in this isolation center do have the symptoms. We have people here that have lots of taste and smell. We have people with severe headache. We have people with, what's it called? We have people coughing. We have people with sore throat. We have people with fever. We have people with all these things except being in critical condition and needing oxygen. But Nigerians think you have to be extremely sick and in critical condition for you to have COVID-19. So that's the problem we're having. They need to, what's it called? They need to sensitize the people and let them know that, listen, you don't have to get to that stage. Even in Europe, they have people with our conditions here in Nigeria, but they just tell them to stay at home until it gets serious. But what the media puts out there is what gets serious. So that's why people feel that, oh, Nigeria is a scam because what I'm seeing online and what I'm experiencing here is not the same. So I do not have COVID-19. So yeah.
exactly. Those were my thoughts too, because I have some colleagues who are working in the US, some people are working in the US and in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and they went until it's serious, like you have severe symptoms. That's when you are rushed to the hospital.
Yes. Yeah.
If you
If
are
not, you stay at home. Yeah.
if you are symptomatic or if you have mild symptoms, you're
Yes.
treated from home. That's to
Yes.
self-isolate.
Yes.
But that's a society that functions. That's in a society that has order. If
Mm-hmm.
if we use that model in our country, an average Nigerian man who is asymptomatic will not self-isolate at home. They will
Mm-hmm.
keep going, keep moving around, spreading, the virus, and that's what a lot of folks don't get to understand. You know, so
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's
the
thank you.
average Nigerian is stubborn by nature.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
But I was going to say it's not going to work in Nigeria because an average Nigerian is stubborn by nature. They just believe that there's always a way around anything.
Around it.
Yeah.
Um, well, thanks a lot. Yes. So I would love to tell the viewers what the view in the isolation center is. I mean, a lot of folks have been, up on my neck saying there's no COVID-19. Show us the patient, show us the people, show us the this. And I tell them,
Yeah.
man, if you see the patient, go to the isolation centers. I even give them the addresses. I tell them go to IDH, Yaba, or Luz, or Onikan, or Bagata. Go there. If you are in Abuja, go to Asokoro or whatever and see for yourself. And
But
they are like,
you know what? The truth is, the security here is tight. Even when you come here, you won't see us because we don't, even in the building we're at, we only occupy a floor and we don't
okay,
leave that floor. We live on
that,
one floor, and that's the dirty area. In their
yeah,
medical terms, they call that floor the dirty area because it's the contaminated area of the hospital. So when they're coming into
right,
the dirty area, that's when they wear their PPE, they wear everything. And then when they just, after dealing with us and things like that, and they want to rest, they have like their resting area, which is not contaminated by us. So because of that, we're even in the hospital, we're confined to a particular section and we can't leave that section. So people that want to see, the only way they can see is through video call, honestly.
that,
Um, yeah, because you can't even pass the gate. When our family and friends bring stuff for us, they'll have to drop it at the gate. And then people from the hospital will go to the gate because the security men are not allowed to touch anything that is coming to us. So they'll drop it
wow,
at the gate and they will come from inside the hospital. They will, I don't know what they do to it, but every time they bring it, it's in like a, wait, hold on, I'll show you the bag. Hold on 1 minute. And anytime they bring it, it's in this bag, biohazard bag. I think they decontaminate it and put it in this bag.
right,
So, and that's how things get to us. So when you come here, even when you stand outside the gate, you're not going to see anybody because we're confined, you know,
yeah,
we don't even go downstairs. So that's it. There's no way for you to see the patient.
hmm, wow, thank you. Thank you. So inside the isolation center, do you think that the healthcare workers, taking care of these, patients, you think they're doing a good job, at what they are doing?
To be honest, yeah, for them to be okay and then make the decision to come into a dirty area,
That's right.
that enough says a lot about them. Because these people are okay, they don't have COVID-19. And, they risk their lives to come and check on us. There are doctors that sleep here, even though they work on, on a schedule, because they can't stay with us all day. So they have times that they come in and go out. Because as I was informed, their PPE is very expensive, so they can't just be coming anyhow. So everything is scheduled. So I think on their part, honestly, they're doing an amazing job. Like they can't do more than they're doing already. They care about us. Like they genuinely care. They ask us questions. They they develop a relationship with us. They talk to us like we're family. You don't even feel like you're in the hospital. They know us by names. They call us by names. Sometimes they play with us, just to make us a bit relaxed, and things like that. They're trying their best. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, what do you feel about people have this notion that the government is making money off COVID-19? So each state wants to have a case, whether they have a case or not. So it's probably insinuating that numbers are being, overrated. So meaning they are saying
Sorry,
we have.
sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said a lot of people have this notion that the government is making money off of COVID-19. So they are insinuating in terms of the government is that they are hyper-inflating these numbers or overrating these numbers,
Mm-hmm.
make money out
Yeah.
of it. What do you think about that? Do you think the numbers are being overreported or underreported?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I can't really say much about that. I can only talk about where I'm at right now. And where I'm at right now, there are lots of empty beds. It's not like the place is overcrowded. There are people suffering, blah blah blah. There are lots of empty beds. I'm sorry, there are lots of empty beds, and I've only heard of one person that is on oxygen. So
Okay.
um, if I'm to answer based on that, I would probably say the numbers. I don't know of other places, but where I'm at, I'll probably say the numbers are inflated. I don't know because this place is
Okay.
boring. We don't like the people are few, lots of empty. There was a time I heard people saying that the NCDC are not calling people because they don't have beds anymore in isolation center. Blah, blah. Yeah, we have lots of empty beds. So yeah, so that's
Okay.
all like a
So,
rumor.
what do you think? What do you think about NCDC? Do you
Huh?
think they're doing? Do you think NCDC and the government
Mm-hmm.
is doing enough? Do you think they're doing enough, or do you think they need to improve on what they are doing already
I
in the
think
aspect of test?
NCDC needs to improve
Okay.
when it comes to testing and results. The major problem is the result. There are people here that have been tested 3 times. Results will not come out. There are people here that the only thing delaying them from going home is because their result is not out. So yeah, in this whole fight, the doctors are doing extremely well. And like if I'm to tell you the highs and the lows, the doctors are doing extremely well. And NCDC is kind of the weakest link. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, so what do you think? I know there's another notion that people are saying that it's ordinary malaria. So, since you have experience or you're going through this experience firsthand, can you kindly tell us, what you think from that, point of view? Do you think, like, I know what it is, all right? I'm asking these questions for viewers, I'm asking questions for the viewers. So, do you think, or can you say categorically that it's just like ordinary malaria?
No, I don't think it's ordinary malaria. I don't think it can be compared to malaria because in my case, I didn't get a temperature. I wasn't feverish, but I did get all the other symptoms. So how is it possible that I caught malaria and I didn't have all those things, but I had the itchy throat, I had the headache, I had the cough, um, I had the running nose, I had all those things. So I don't understand. Like, I'm not a medical person, but I know for a fact I've had a few share of malaria myself in my lifetime, and I know it's nothing like malaria because I didn't get those what's it called? Those feelings or whatever you get when you have malaria. I didn't get none of that, but I got the flu aspect of it. So yeah.
All right. So I'm not wanting to take much of your time. What word can you give out to viewers out there just to enforce? Also join your you add your voice to the sensitization ongoing. What can you tell people out there?
Sorry, can you come again?
I
I
said
didn't get that.
just to add your voice to the sensitization,
Mm-hmm.
going out there, since it looks as though we are not getting so much sensitization down like out there to the people, and that's why I have decided to do this on an individual level. So what advice do you have for the people, as regards this, to enforce or ensure that people are well sensitized?
Honestly, what our advice is, people need to just chill on all the what's it called, all the extreme images of people dying, people on ventilators and things like that. You can, and what I think the major problem is people think COVID-19 is two extreme ends. It's either you're asymptomatic or you're dying. People are not aware that there's a middle ground. People are not aware you can be in the middle, you can have some of these symptoms and not be extremely sick. So now they need to educate people that listen, you can also fall in the middle. You're not extremely sick, but you're not asymptomatic. So I think that's what they need to educate the general public with. Because that's why people are doubting it. That's why people are saying it's a scam. Because as far as they're not dying, gasping for air, needing oxygen, they believe, oh, the government is just using me. I don't have anything, blah, 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 blah. So they need to educate people that listen, you can be right in the middle and still have it. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me use this avenue to just chip in a few words.
Mm-hmm.
It said that the coronavirus has anyone who has this virus can recover, over 80% can recover even without treatment. Now the major
Mm-hmm.
problem is the spread of this virus, because you can you can stay without symptoms but still infect others. The group of concern when it comes to COVID-19 are the vulnerable. And the class of people that are classified under the vulnerable are those who are old, the elderly, and those who have comorbidities, who have other sicknesses. Other sicknesses are, who are sick,
Yeah.
probably hypertension, diabetic, who have some cardiovascular issues, some kidney
Mm-hmm.
issues, uh, those are the vulnerable, the class of the vulnerable. And these are the people we are trying to prevent, because in these people, once they get infected, the complications and the symptoms they get are severe symptoms. And these are probably when you start seeing people are being rushed in, having under ventilators and all that. Nigeria does not have what it takes to handle that level of crisis. I think that's why the government is trying to be on the proactive end to isolate anyone positive, whether you have symptoms or you don't have symptoms, so that we can better manage the crisis. I'm not defending the government. I'm not defending NCDC.
No,
I don't
you're
work for either
right.
of them.
No, you're right because there's this medication we're on, and I'm sure you're aware of it, alluvia. And from what
Yeah.
I was informed, alluvia is also used to treat HIV. And what it does is it weakens the virus so we're not able to spread it to the next person. It might still, be in us, but it will make it so weak that we can't pass it on. So if you're asymptomatic and the virus is obviously present in your blood cell, you need to come here so you can be treated with alluvia just to suppress it and you're not able to spread it. So yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that is. Thank you so much. I don't know if any of our viewers has any questions for
Yeah, I'm
Fatima.
looking. I don't see any questions.
Yeah, there are no questions. So I believe they all understand what we have,
Yeah.
right now. So I pray for you that your recovery will be speedy.
Thank you
I pray
very
for you.
much.
You're not going to develop any of those complications. You're going to be out there in no time.
Thank you. Amen.
Thank you so very much for this. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you for having
So
me.
have a
Bye.
nice day.
You too.